Alright, so I'm back again and gonna check out 3 more videos for today. And feel free to send more videos. I love checking out your performances and giving the best advice I can give. So today we're gonna check out 3 more videos and I don't have any more. So feel free to send more videos because I love checking out your videos and your performances and trying to give the best advice that I can. So keep sending shit and yeah, I will. Oh shit. Okay, so I have 3. Okay, so I have already checked out 3 videos and I have 3 more videos to check out. So please send more videos because I'm running out of them pretty fast, okay? And right now we're gonna check out Bob Peterson's 2 sons who are going to play Metallica for whom the bell tolls. And they are absolute beginners according to the dad himself and we'll see how it goes, okay? Okay, first off, get the tuner. If you don't have a tuner, get the tuner, because you have to tune your guitars before playing, okay? Sounds boring, but it's really important. Once you get the tuning down, then you can play, okay? We'll go on, okay? Alright. So, you can. I'm gonna do. I don't know your names. So I'm going to call you sitting guy and standing guy, okay? Because that's the different characteristics that you have in this video, okay? The sitting guy and the standing guy. And the sitting guy, I'm watching your picking hand right now, okay? This one, all right? And you're playing like this. We're going to ignore the fact that the real melody goes like this. Okay, that's not important. You're starting out, it's fine. You don't have to do that intricate detail in the melody. And skip that. By the way, it's on bass, but ignore that. We are focusing right now on what you are doing and what you are trying to achieve. Okay? So you are playing like this with you have the whole hand. You have your whole hand, your whole arm. Sorry, English is not my first language. Okay. So it seems like you're moving your entire arm. Okay, so. You can try to. I mean, there's different schools in this. The different preferences. It's called. But you can at least try to get more of the wrist movement. Okay. You can check out some. I mean, I'm not a guitar teacher per se, so. And this is difficult to explain in words over video, especially since I'm new to this. But I see that your arm is very stiff, and try to, instead of moving this, move more like this, okay? And also. Okay, we will continue because we're going to get to the next part soon, okay? And we are on the next part already, okay? Okay, so we're gonna be a bit pedantic. I mean, I know you're starting out and everything, so you don't have to play everything perfect. You don't have to play everything exactly like the original or anything. But this will help you a lot. Okay, if you check this, you're playing like this. I'll just check the video here. Okay, you're playing like this with arm up in the air. So all the notes are ringing out. Okay. However, in the original, they are playing like this. Okay, and I will show you how you can do that. Okay, so instead of this movement that you're doing, like this part of your hand is called palm muting. Okay, this part of your hand, put this exactly where. Exactly where the strings are attached to the saddles on the bridge here, okay? Exactly there. Put there. You can hear the difference, okay? You're not supposed to like put it on the string, but exactly. Just with mutes it a bit, okay? So the difference is, and you get the chugging sound, which is pretty much an essential part of the metal sound in general, okay? So you don't have to play it like this. You can play it one string if you want. That's fine. You're starting out. You can focus. I see that you're watching your picking hand all the time. So instead of you can play it like this. And that's fine. You're starting out. So, the next thing I'm gonna talk about the sitting guy is that you are watching this all the time, so that you're missing what you're doing over here, okay? And right now you are playing the wrong frets, and I don't know if you have looked up tabs for this song or notes. I don't know if you've done that or if you're listening from air or something. I have no background in your what do you call it? In your journey. So right now you are playing these notes, okay? But it's supposed to be this. So it's supposed to be open string, 3rd fret, 2nd fret, 1st fret. So you can play. And so yeah, I mean, I know it's not easy for everyone to check out everything, but you can give it a try to check at this hand as well. You know, I mean, even Yngwie Malmsteen said that he didn't understand what was wrong with his playing until he started to think about his picking hand, or if it was a fretting hand or whatever. And so you have to check what both hands are doing, especially at this point, because let's continue. I lost my brain. Let's continue. Okay, now standing eye is going on here. Alright, so here's a good thing. You're brothers, right? So you're probably living in the same house. And standing guy, teach your brother how to play, because you seem to have a pretty good picking technique, okay? You're playing this. Okay? Show him more in detail what you're doing with your hand, because if you can show him how it's done, it's probably more efficient than if I'm sitting here trying to explain everything over a video. And but if I can add something, is that let's see here. Okay, so first off, we have one issue that I think is, I mean, here's the problem. Of course, we should play songs that we enjoy playing, that are exciting, and that we love listening to, and things that we get up and running about. Okay, that's really important. But there's a problem with metal in general, in that it's actually a very complex and advanced style of music with very difficult songs. So this is actually kind of jumping over some fundamental basics, that if you get the basics done first and come to this later, you can probably benefit from the basics once you get to the more complex stuff. So, for example, just for myself, I have a background in playing like punk rock music, so it's mostly like... So basically, chords like that. There's nothing overly technical about it. But, so I kind of went from there and forward, okay? But what I can suggest to you is, just like I suggested to Philip in the last video, pick out this song on YouTube and slow it down to 7.75 and try to play it slower, because right now you are playing it at full speed and without the backing track. So if you're trying to play it together with the backing track, slow it down, your brain will process the riffs and whatever you're supposed to do with your hands and everything, and I think you will come further as a guitarist faster that way than trying to master something that is a bit beyond what you're currently able to. So I will continue with the video just to see if there's anything else to cover, okay? Okay, so just one more thing, and this is, I mean, when you're starting out, everything should be about your playing. Everything should be about the playing, and not about gear, guitars, amps, and everything. But I think that the amp that Sitting Guy is hooked up to, I looked at the cable from his guitar and what was in the background. And I think it was hooked up in some little... I mean, the Standing Guy... Okay, so here's the deal. I have actually just sneak peeked this video before, and I heard the tones. And I think that this... I mean, if you want to be inspired to play, it should come from the heart to begin with, okay? From the heart, and doing it despite whatever you have, because it's not about the guitars, it's not about the amps. But I did prepare just a little suggestion here, because I have had this guitar for over half of my life. I think I got it when I was 14 or something, and it's a little practice amp from Roland, and you can find these on the used market for like almost nothing, a few, like 20, 30, 40 bucks or something. And you can actually get this to sound really good. So I'll just play through this and see how it sounds, okay? So obviously the playing is gonna be important in how you sound, because you are you, and you will always sound like you do. I will always sound like I do, and everybody else will always sound like they do, despite what they are connected to, because that's what your playing style is. But it seems like you don't have enough gain to actually play metal with that little Fender over there. So... So this is just a suggestion. If you look up one of these used and choose the R fire right there, and just put the gain on max and tone on max, it sounds pretty sick actually. So of course, there's no like intention here to get you into buying stuff to get better, because that's not the answer. It's never the answer. But I think you are being held back a little bit by the sound you're getting. So in conclusion, let the standing brother teach the sitting brother to pick like the standing brother is, because the standing brother has a pretty good clue how to use the picking hand. Okay. All right, so thank you for the submission, and I will now head over to the next video, okay? And that is going to be Sulanem. Okay, so he's obviously playing Running Wild Core. Your playing is really tight. The playing is phenomenal right now. So it seems like you're a very seasoned guitarist, and we will keep watching here and see if there's anything I can give an advice on. Oh, shit. So far there's nothing wrong with the playing at all. You seem to know exactly what you're doing. I don't know if my voice is loud enough. I will take it again. It seems like I have perfectly fine understanding what you're doing. It's tight, it's precise, the guitar is in tune. And obviously like Run Wild. So this is just a repetition of before. I want to see if you play it solo. I guess the solo is coming now, so I'm not gonna skip forward, okay? Okay, so you actually saw that. And one thing that I really liked about it, okay, that is that you're so familiar with your abilities that you are sticking exactly to that and not trying to overplay anything. Okay, but there's one thing, and that's the vibratos, and this is a reoccurring theme for myself because I'm a big fan of a really vibrato, and examples of that are, for example, like Adrian Smith or Yngwie Malmsteen, or I mean, most guitar heroes that are out there usually have a really good vibrato, because that's really the one little detail that really sets apart the real like the real inspirational guitar for me at least. So if I checked one vibrato here. Okay, so a little suggestion. It actually is the same suggestion that I gave. Was it Philippe? I think it was Philippe. Anyway, so you started off with the fast vibrato and then stopped it. Okay, of course this is all subjective opinions and whatever I think is my opinion, but this is something that I have learned from listening to a lot of my guitar heroes or whatever inspirational sources that you can call it. So that is usually start the note and then get into the vibrato. So instead of like what you were doing here, and then to the next part. Start a note and then let it flower. Let it grow. Because it's like settles the note and the mode, and then you like expand upon it. And instead of, it's actually kind of like how you think about when you're writing a song, that you want some dramatic movements in the song. And if you start off at, and then, it's like you're starting off already at the big part of it, and then you're going back to and you want to keep the listener going forward. And then there's different schools about vibrato and everything, but that's a topic for another day, which I will talk about because I love vibratos, and I will make a whole video about different vibratos and how we can think about those in different ways. But I will keep watching. Okay, so that part is a bit out of key, I would say. Most of the solo is pretty much in key, but I will check what the bass chords are. E. Okay, E. Also, basically, it's chord. Something like that. Okay, so you go from E to A to B. Okay, so the pattern that you are playing here. And that works great because you are in E, and this is the fifth note in the scale. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have the first, the third, the fifth, and the next octave, and they make the minor chord there. So that's cool. Nice. Okay, so now we get to the next chord after that. Okay, which is the B. No, A. Sorry. I'm not a music theory expert, but it's a. Then comes the A. And you're playing octaves on every one, so. And then you go on. The good thing about it is that you have a theme. You have a theme that keeps going, and that makes it catchy, and that's nice because it's not just mindless shredding. There's a thought about this. There's a thought behind this. But it's one thing on the A chord that sounds a bit off because you're playing. You're landing on something that is not really tied to that chord. I will explain it, okay? this works. This works. And one could argue that it's this so-called coloring note. But it doesn't feel like it lands anywhere because there's a theory that's called... It's called... Damn it, what is it called? It's called... Oh, what's it called? It's called... Suspense and relief. Oh, what's it called? Tension and release. That's the right word. Okay, tension and release. And you can always land on a release at all times. So that's basically any note that is within the chord. So if you're in A, you can play any of those notes and they will sound right on spot on that chord. But if you're playing on another note, you might want to also release the tension, because if you're only in tension, it's gonna sound like something is being tense and it's not, and it doesn't release. And that is the feeling I get from this. And there's actual musical theory reasons for this. So you're landing on this. So you're on a tension, but you don't go to release. So what you could do is, or land on. Or something. I mean, this you can also like this, and then because the last one is perfectly fine. It's at the release at all times, so there's no tension at all going on. But there's a lot of tension in that A chord that doesn't really releases, and that's at least for me, who thinks in this way at all times. I felt it, and it wasn't like I like a good feeling of something that makes sense, and that's just my musical theory reason for you to at least try something else at that particular point. But everything else is fine. So, but you seem to know what you're doing with the playing and everything, so I don't have to say anything about that. But I want to give opinions. So check that A chord. But you had a theme, that's good. Okay, so the battery just died, but we're back again, and here's Colin Thomas with Plague Star Solo, the video says. So check it out and see what's going on. Okay, you have a theme, and that's cool. You have some repetitive parts in that solo, and that's cool because that creates a theme or a motive or something. Well, we'll see here. There was a couple of things that I can point out, because we start off pretty good here, okay? That's nice. You're in a there. So you play that B in a minor key, and that's really cool because it usually when you're playing an E, you can maybe play. You can play it in the minor, or you can go to it, which is another way to play the B minor or B major, but it all depends if you want to sound a bit more sad or a bit more baroque or something. I can't say exactly what it sounds like, but that's how I usually tend to perceive the different scales. Okay, so first part is pretty cool, and then we have what I've talked about in the previous video with about the tension and release, and you're actually doing it 2 times, and then you're doing it kind of the wrong way in the third part. Okay. And the ending is really good. Okay, and I can explain why. So we have this. You start in E, okay, and you do this bend. And that's really cool. And then you go to G, and you have, which is also a tension and release, tension and release, tension and release. And then we come to the next chord, which gets a bit weird, okay? So you pretty much do it. I mean, it's all subjective, just like I said, but when you go to this D chord here, see if we can. When you go to the D chord, and you go from. If you could do it the other way around, so. And then you would land on a note that makes sense with the chord, okay? But and then we come to the last part, and that's really beautiful because then you have. Yeah, so you actually play. It's a bit jazzy or something, or whatever. So that's really cool. I like that. That's good. And then we get to the next part. And there we have. You're playing this, okay? And you could change one note to make it make sense with the chords, okay? E, G. So you're going for this, which is just a pentatonic tapping on this, which makes sense because we have the E and the B. They make sense. And then you go to the G, and you're staying in this, which is nice because this is the 5th and the 3rd on the G. This is the 5th and the 3rd on the G, and but you go to this note, and when you do that in a tapping, it doesn't really sound right because you're playing basically playing a B minor. But if you are changing this note to up there, that will sound more coherent with the chord, okay? And back to that nice little thing there. So here I have a problem just with the rhythm section because I cannot hear the chords properly. I actually don't hear if you're playing what chords you're playing. It's due to the recording or whatever, but something happens there. I don't know if you play the wrong chord or something, but I cannot hear what you're playing, so it's difficult to say what actually works to it, but something is going on here. But I hear one chord here. and that is you go down to the G there. But you are bending up to, or did you bend or did you just vibrato up to it? I was like, okay. And that's also another one where you are basically playing in the wrong key. If you could just change it out to, so it actually makes sense with the chord, okay? And so basically you have a good idea there, and I like this. Those are really beautiful and in the beginning and all that. And so you could just tweak a few notes and just make sure that everything works with the chords, and you're gonna be fine, because it's a good idea with a few maybe mistakes. I don't know what to call it, really. Misunderstandings or something, because it's just something that I notice with a few guitarists sometimes, where you're writing a solo and you don't actually think exactly about which notes works with the chords, which is something I will take up in a video in the future, where I will actually provide a backing track and a very good exercise or way to think about how to write solos, where you really think about the chords. And I might get it out in a week or two or something. I don't know exactly when, but I have all the ideas up for it. I just have to make sure that I get the practical shit together, okay? So thanks for the submission, and I will gather a few more and do another reaction for another week, and see if. And I hope you find my advice helpful, and I'm not here to be like judgmental or look down on anybody, because I'm also learning. I'm a learning guitarist. I cannot even sweep, you know. That's something that I should learn. Yeah, anyway. So, if anybody has any comments on my own playing, go ahead. So, thanks for watching, and I will be back another time.